you guys, Brooke Lark from cheekykitchen.com here. When it comes to editing, I focus primarily on shooting my shots and then pulling all of my raw files directly into Lightroom. That's right, I don't use Photoshop, and if I do, I use it really rarely. The reason that I use Lightroom is it's such a powerful editing tool. I can do just about everything that I want to do, except for maybe erasing smudges or spots inside of Lightroom's absolutely simple developing program. And actually, when it comes to editing in Lightroom, there are a few of the exact same settings that I use every single time to make sure that my shots look gorgeous. Now, these settings are different depending on the way that I've shot. If I've shot on, say, black or like a darker background, then the sorts of colors that I pull out are going to be really dramatically different than the way that I edit if I've shot a picture on white with a white background. And I want to show you today the settings that I use every single time in Lightroom when I have shot an image on white. These are totally simple tricks that anyone can do. If you're new to Lightroom, I fully support you getting in there and learning it. It's not as hard or scary as you might think. And if you follow this simple little tutorial that I have prepared for you, I guarantee that you're going to love editing in Lightroom, especially when it comes to your whites.
Here is my works every time approach to editing a photo shot on white. Go ahead and import all of your pictures. Select the picture in Lightroom that you want to edit. And then you're going to move down over here to the Detail tab. Make sure that it's open and go to this little sharpening box. Now, moving the first amount bar makes the photo look crisp, but it can also add noise. So I usually refrain excuse me, from using that editing tool at all. However, radius, detail, and masking always gets popped to the top. And this just gives you this nice crisp look around the edges of your photo. Then scroll back to the top to this basic tab. Again, make sure it's open. And the first thing that I do on any photo shot in white, once the detail is dialed in, is I pull the shadows and the whites almost to the top. I typically pull the shadows slightly higher than the whites. And the reason that I do this is because I really want to create super boosted whites. If you ever get that blue glow or a yellow glow to your photos, this whites tab right here is your slider bar friend. Get that puppy scrolled up to the top as much as possible, and you may have to counteract for this in the exposure button because it will increase the exposure of your photos. So if you find that your image is like way too bright once you move that whites section up, then move the exposure down. Now with this photo, I actually feel like it needs a little more exposure, so I'm going to tinker with this tab just a little until I'm happy with it. Once all of those settings are placed, then there are 3 additional changes that I tend to make. I usually bump the blacks slider down just a little so that my blacks really stand out. I move the contrast button up just a little to again give that nice contrast between blacks and whites. And then I pull the vibrance bar up just a touch to give my colors a nice boost. And those are my basic white editing techniques in Lightroom. Enjoy.
There you go. Those simple settings are all you need to edit your white photos in Lightroom. If you liked this tip, I would love to have you subscribe. Go ahead and click that subscribe button below, and then join me over at my website, cheekykitchen.com, for even more business tips, freebies, and the occasional delicious recipe. I'll see you next time.